OMG. How do we do these? What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. My name is Abigail. I'm a nurse here in Chicago, and I'm about to do, this is my first video ever. I'm just gonna do a little mukbang for you guys. Story time about becoming a travel nurse, questioning my whole life about being a nurse, going on my first travel assignment, nearly contracting HIV. What am I doing with the hands? Nearly contracting HIV, missing 2 weeks of my assignment, and I feel like there's something else. Oh, like we gonna get into it. So this is a mukbang. If you guys are not from Chicago, I don't know, in my mind I thought Portillo's was like everywhere, but I guess it's not. This is new year, new me. It's still January. We fell off track, but we gonna get back on. While I should have gotten an Italian beef, I didn't. I really wasn't in the mood for an Italian beef, so I just got a burger because I was gonna get a salad. With COVID, they took away half their salad, so I just got a burger and some fries instead. These are their fries. They have like the crinkle cut fries. I've never actually had their burger before. I usually get their Italian beef. I should have, for people, if you've never had an Italian beef before, if you've never had Portillo's before, I should have gotten you one to show, but I wasn't in the mood today, so maybe next time on my cheat day when I'm back on track and I'm gonna have a little cheat day. So I got a nice little burger here. I hope this is like focused well. Okay. Looks good. It's huge. Oh. Okay. So I'm here in my car, and I'm only doing this because I've done this video about 10,000 gazillion billion times, and I have like 10 million clips of myself in a car recording videos talking about my experience as like a nurse, what I want to do, what I want to be. I just recorded myself at home, and then I look back at it and I try to edit it, and I'm like, I just wasn't feeling the vibe. Like I felt like I really wasn't myself, and knowing that these are videos that I genuinely want to like put up now, I'm kind of more like hard on myself, but it is what it is. The car is my happy place. I'm in my car. Just to start off with who I am. So my name is Abigail. I go by Abigail and Abby. I'm a nurse here and I'm from Chicago. I have been a nurse only since April of 2020. I started right in the pandemic. I was a COVID nurse from April of 2020 all the way through. Got to get used to this. You're talking to yourself and people walk by and they stare at you. So I've been a nurse since April of 2020, and now it's January of 2022. But I quit last October after a year and a half because I just didn't feel fulfilled. I just felt stuck. I'm going to the same place every single day, where that can usually be a sense of comfort. For me, I just got bored doing the same thing over and over and over again every day. I just did not feel fulfilled. I didn't feel happy. While I do love my work as a nurse, as you know, they drain you. It's just so draining. So my channel is really going to be about my life. A big part of that has been nursing. A big portion of what has pushed me into wanting to do YouTube was nursing. So yeah. Also forgot to mention I got a strawberry milkshake because I'm a real pizza-ish, and I really shouldn't have got that, but I swear I ordered a small, and this does not look like a small. Large fries, yeah, small strawberry shake, and I swear maybe this is a small. I don't know. You know how some places like Dunkin' Donuts, have you ever been to Dunkin' Donuts? Their smalls are like larges. I'm a Starbucks queen. People try to come for Starbucks and say they're expensive. Starbucks small is like this. This is a Dunkin' Donuts medium. This is a Starbucks large. Like, it's insane. Dunkin' Donuts sizes are insane. Their drinks aren't that good, fight me. Every time I get coffee from there, anything, it's just not that great. Their little wake up wraps, their little food is not all that great. And they're just as expensive or more expensive than Starbucks, so whatever. Get some food, eat with me, because we gonna get into how I've been working as a nurse for a year and a half, and then now I go away to California and do an assignment, and that's when I first damn near catch HIV. From this patient was not like blood or needle stick. It was in a different way, which I'll explain, but they ended up putting me on the drug to prevent it, and it was a whole thing. This burger is huge, and to think people get like a double, like what? Excuse me? Okay. This is insane. So the whole year of 2020, I had started to feel stuck, like I wasn't happy. Who can also relate as a nurse? Even being in nursing school, you question if you want to be a nurse. You start it, you still question it, and you just keep going through it because you work so hard to become it. People are so proud of you for becoming a nurse. You know it's a stable position to have. You're only working 3 days a week, even though you're still working your 36 hours and you're tired as hell. But you feel like it's okay. You're doing what you need to do. My friend Monica quit to be a travel nurse almost a year before I decided to do it, and she had did it already. And when when she quit, I still never saw myself becoming a travel nurse. This spot where I'm at now, I would come every single day and pray about it. Like, is this the right decision for me? Turns out it was, and I did it. I'll pray about everything. Like when I want to drive, I come here and I just sit. It's like a park, all kinds of things, and I just like sit and watch birds, and kids are playing and people are walking about. It's like a little shopping area. So this is my place of solitude. I go to California for my first travel nurse assignment, and my first day is November 1st, 2021. And the contract is only for 8 weeks, so my last day was supposed to be Christmas Day, December 25th. Let me take another bite. I'm hungry. Every time I just got my hair done, and anybody who ever gets their hair done knows, it's like you sit there for so long getting your hair done, you just start, I prepare, make sure I eat something before, because you're gonna be starving afterwards anyway. I'm grateful when I started my contract. It was a great contract. I love where I was. I was grateful I had someone to go with me because I felt like I was on the right path, that it was what I was supposed to be doing. But I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for her. That's how you know God puts you where you're supposed to be. Because this position I was in when I was working at that hospital with her when I first met Monica, I almost didn't choose to work there. I got a different job offer and I prayed about it and I was like, where should I be? And I got offered a day position somewhere else, and this one was like a 3 to 11:30 shift. It was closer to my house, but I was still like, I don't know. And I prayed about it and it was like clear, no, go there. And when it was time to quit, it was like clear. I know you're gonna feel weird about it, but do it. So went to California, loved it. Well, I was very homesick in the beginning, didn't think I was gonna be that way, but it was just a huge change. I still knew like nursing wasn't for me forever. I still love what I did. It's so tough during this pandemic. I missed my family, my cats, my friends. Like it was a lot. So granted, I did it. I adjusted after about a week or two, and I'm like, time's going by. I was able to come home for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was when the incident, well, the week of Thanksgiving was when the incident happened. It was Monday. Sorry, I don't even know if I'll keep this clip. I've been sitting here so long wondering if I should do this, if this is the right path for me, and I prayed to the universe, if this is right for me, like if me recording this video and starting this way is what I'm meant to do, send me a crow. Because it's weird, crows, people associate it with negativity, but look it up, crows are not negative. What did I do with my phone? Is it in my pocket? I don't know where my phone is, but either way, if you look up the meaning of crows, it's not a negative thing. Because I was seeing so many of them when I was in California, and I was like, this is such a negative thing, but I'm feeling a push from the universe when I see them. Monday, the week before Thanksgiving, during my normal shift, and there was this one patient, I had him, he's young, 25-year-old male. He contracted HIV, and he wasn't compliant with his medications. He also was diagnosed with meningitis. He was just so small and frail, and you can tell like he wasn't mentally all there. You can tell this was a normal kid, and then this stuff happened to him. Well, just so you know, as a positive thing, he ended up being able to leave for Thanksgiving and go home with his family finally, even though he had been there for weeks. So nothing bad that I know of has happened to this patient. Like he lived, he was becoming more compliant with his medications, especially while he was in the hospital. So when I first had him, he was really frail and exhausted and needed to use like a bedpan. Young kid, only 25 years old. I hadn't had him for about like 2 weeks, and then I finally had him as a patient again. I was like, I'd asked him, I was like, you probably don't even remember me, but I was your nurse. And he said, no, I remember you. There's not a lot of black nurses around here, so when I see a black nurse, like I remember you. And I was like, oh, okay, that's good, because he was black as well. He was stronger than what I remembered. I was happy he was up, he was talking. He always had the same breakfast every day, a waffle and hot chocolate. Don't ask me why. It was like a protein waffle because they were trying to get as much nutrients in him as possible because he just wasn't eating well. And then the doctor came in while I was assessing him, and I was getting ready to pass his morning med, and the doctor asked me, had he been having bloody stool? So I said, I haven't had him in 2-3 weeks. So when I had him, he wasn't having the bloody stool, and actually the night nurse that gave me report didn't report any history of the bloody stool. So this is new to me. I haven't had a chance to like thoroughly look through everything in his chart yet, but as far as I know, he doesn't have bloody stool. And then the patient was right there, and he was like, oh no, I haven't been having bloody stool for a while. I had just went for my morning break. I came back, and the charger said, oh, your patient, he just put on his call light. So I go on the bed in the patient's room. He said I was able to put myself on the bedpan and I'm done now. He's laying on it. So I tell him, okay, roll over to your left side. So he's rolling over to his left side, and the bedpans are plastic. So it didn't fly up, but it just popped, and a piece of poop just flew directly into my eye. So I immediately freaked out, but I was trying to remain calm for him. I didn't want to make him like feel bad or anything. I don't want my burger to get cold. Success. No mayonnaise this time. It's finally up to 19 degrees in Chicago. It was like 8 degrees all morning. Now it's like 3 in the afternoon, so let me do this before the sun sets at like freaking 4 o'clock in January. It's insane. So, like I said, poop goes in my eye. So I just wipe his bottom as much as I can quickly, and I take the bedpan, put it in the bathroom. HIV is not typically passed through pee or poop, and also you're not likely to get it in your eye. Even if someone gets semen in your eye and they have HIV, you're still very highly unlikely to contract it that way, but we always still want to be careful. I run to my charge nurse and I said, you know, I have a silly question. I have a really dumb question. Do you think, can you get HIV from poop? And she looked at me like, what did you just say? What happened? And I said, well, just a little bit of his poop got in my eye when I was cleaning him up. She said, what? They did not have, I don't know, maybe it wasn't near or whatever. I didn't see a flush station, so she took me in the supply room. She's dousing my eye in the little saline flushes we have. If you've ever seen like the things we flush your IV with, if you've ever had an IV, she's just opening them up. She went through so many of them. I was there for like 10 to 15 minutes with my eye over the thing. She's like, oh honey, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry this happened to you. I'm so sorry. And so she told me, you need to go immediately. The employee health. So I go there and I get treated by the doctor, and at first the doctor was like, okay, I don't think you're gonna need to get put on the drugs, the prophylactic drugs to prevent you from getting HIV, but I have to consult with the infectious disease doctor anyways, so we'll see what he says. So I'm sitting there on pins and needles, and in my mind, one side is like, you're not gonna get it, you know, you've seen the research, you're fine, and then the other part of me is like, but bro, this is insane. Like, where did this happen? My whole life could really just be changed. So she comes back after consulting with the infectious disease doctor, and she said, turns out that the infectious disease doctor that is on call for me to consult with is also the infectious disease doctor that is overseeing that patient's case. He suggests that you take the drug, and it has to be the ones that the patient is taking, so we're gonna put you on those. You'll take it for 4 weeks. After you take it for 4 weeks, we'll recheck you for HIV. But first I'm gonna do like a CBC. I want to look at your kidney function, your liver function, white blood cell count, your red blood cell count, all that good stuff, to see where you are now, to watch how the drug affects you while you're taking it. So we'll do a repeat lab in 2 weeks to see how the drug is affecting you, and then in 6 weeks you need to retest for HIV, and also see how your kidneys and livers are doing after the drugs too. And I freaked out, and I was like, can I go home for the rest of the day? And she actually asked me, she's like, why? Because in her mind, she was like, you can go back to work. And I was like, go back to work? I know, because she too was like, you're not gonna get it from this. It's just, we would hate to shoot ourselves in the foot if something were to happen, and like, say God forbid, I'm literally the first person ever known to catch HIV through poop in their eye. Like, so we don't want that, so let's just be really aggressive about it. So it's just the idea of it just freaked me out, and so I just mentally wasn't there. I didn't want to go back, just sit with the idea of it for the day. Stop recording me because I've been talking so damn much, but I've almost finished my burger. Barely touched this milkshake. Also, I'm an idiot because I was looking for my phone. Where was it at? Right between my legs the whole time. So since we here, I'm going to tell you crows. Crows symbolize transformation and change. They are watchful creatures that have sharp and powerful foresight. You can tap into the potent power of this bird to transform the bad into foresight or something useful. The crow represents change or transformation. Crow meaning and symbolization include adaptability, cleverness and intelligence, teamwork and reciprocity, transformation and psychic ability. So crows are not bad. Don't mind my double chin, okay? We all have them. Even my skinny folks out here, right? Like this video, if we're gonna be proud of our double chins in 2022. Even though I'm hoping she'll leave, you know? I've known her for quite some time. I'm just kind of over her, you know? This is actually my first time ever wearing a middle part too. I've been side part Sally my whole life. Decided to just switch it up. Because I'm an adult. I'm an adult that has to pee really bad as I sip my milkshake. Anyway, I decided not to go back to work, and the doctor looked at me like, girl, why you can't come back to work? You know, you just taking drugs, like you're fine. And I started to cry. I was like, I just can't right now. Like I just can't. So she writes an off work note, just 1 day off work. That was Monday before Thanksgiving. And then I go home for Thanksgiving. Monday, which is a week after the incident, my husband's dropping me off at the airport. My flight is at like 1 p.m. because I had to work the next day, Tuesday. Tuesday. It was my right eye. So my eye right here, it was hurting. I said, oh, maybe I just slept with my hand on my eye or something. I don't know. It just kept getting worse and worse throughout the day. And then when I finally flew back and I looked under my eye, right at the top under my eyelid, it was red. So I go to sleep, wake up to go to work the next day. Eye is swollen shut, in pain. And I was like, oh Lord, I cannot go to work. So I called off. I go to the doctor. She said, this is weird because, as you know, if you're exposed to any sickness or virus or bacteria, you would expect the incubation period to when you see symptoms would be no more than like 3 to 4 days max. At this point, it had been like basically 8 days. And so she said, this is weird, but it is the same eye. She put me on gentamicin eye drops. I asked her, do I have to go back to work tomorrow? And she's like, oh yeah, when you have pink eye, conjunctivitis, after you take the drug for 24 hours, you're not contagious anymore. You should be clearing up. Next day, my eye was worse. And the whole time I'm feeling like, I don't think I'm gonna be good enough to go back to work the next day. I could barely see, like my eyes swollen. Nobody wants their nurse to walk up to them and they have pink eye, because that shit contagious and I can't even see that well. I'm really distracted. I kept rubbing my eye and my eye was constantly oozing, so I'm constantly dabbing my eye with the inner side of my shirt and tissues. So I had to call the clinic, and it was another doctor that just kind of saw me for the day, and all he did was say, your eye should be getting better. That's really weird, but I don't know your whole case, so I will just give you the off work form you need. You can, follow up with your doctor tomorrow. So that's what I did. I followed up with her the next day, and she was like, oh yeah, your eye is not getting better. That's weird. Maybe we need to be more aggressive with the antibiotics. So she gives me oral antibiotics to take along with the eye drops that were also every 4 hours, and I'm also taking the drugs for HIV. And so I said, honey, can we stop playing games? Like, I'm going back to work the next day. So she gave me a couple of days off. It wasn't like getting worse because it was already bad. Like, I'm sure I'll insert pictures. It was already bad. It was swollen, very red, and it was constantly oozing clear. And I used Dr. Google, and Dr. Google did not tell me I was gonna die, because I really felt like by the second to third day of using those eye drops, they weren't helping. They were making my eye, it would burn. Like, by the third hour after I didn't use it, I would like, my eye started to feel better, and I would use it after 4 hours and it would just make my eye burn. And I get it, they're eye drops, but my eye was not getting better. It was just making it more irritated. And either way, it's a strong antibiotic and it should be helping, even though I know it's strong and it has side effects, but it just wasn't helping at all. So I just stopped using it, to be honest. I stopped taking the oral antibiotics, and then I started to body ache and chills. And like I was saying, I used Dr. Google because I said, I don't think this is bacterial pink eye. I was looking up the symptoms and they said viral pink eye, you have clear drainage, which is what I had. I didn't have any green, yellow pus or anything like that. It was all clear. And I also started to feel very fatigued, body ache. That's also with viral pink eye. You don't get that with bacterial. So I said, I don't know what the heck is going on. It may be completely unrelated to the feces I got in my eye, but I'm not gonna take these antibiotics. They said it'll take up to 2 weeks to start clearing up. So I said, I'm gonna just let it run its course and we'll see. And she was saying, if it doesn't get better in so long, we'll just refer you to an ophthalmologist. So it did start to get better. It improved after 2 weeks, and then I went back to work, because it's travel nursing. You don't get paid unless you work. So because I missed work for 2 weeks, I didn't get paid for 2 weeks. I was able to file a claim. Since it was under workers' compensation, they were the ones that were paying for my medical bills. Since it was like an on-the-job injury, that insurance company was able to like give me a small fraction of like what I was supposed to make. I felt like during that time, it was a message from the universe. It said to the universe, I'm like, I feel like y'all sent me out here to work and to make money and to be able to start my life the way I want to start my life and catch up on the money that I missed, because I had been off for a month taking care of my dad before I left. Like in July of last year, I was taking care of him after he got just a hip replacement, perfectly fine, perfectly healthy. I was like, y'all sent me out here to make money, and now I'm not able to do that. Ever since I started to think about becoming a travel nurse, I have been writing these notes to myself. I titled it Random Epiphanies, because it started when I come to this place of solitude, when I just have time to sit here and pray and be at peace and meditate and really listen. Because it's like, sometimes in this day and age, you feel so lost. You don't know what you're here to do, and if you do, that's good for you, but I just feel like there's so many people out here in this day and age, we don't know what we're doing. The epiphany I wrote myself when I was there, I have like their number, like 1 through whatever. Like every time I have one, I just like write it down in my phone on my notes. So it says, number 9 was how I felt lost and confused. I had just finished my first 4 weeks of my assignment, and I think this was when the incident had just happened. I wrote how travel nursing was a huge step for me, and even though I don't feel like it's for me long term, it was definitely still a necessary step for me to take. Staying at the hospital where I was at, I knew that wasn't the move. I was sad every time I drove to work. I would go to the parking garage and cry every single day when I'm like, dang, I gotta do this again today, and the next day, and the the next day what is meant for me, because this isn't it until I'm 65. So I know I made the right decision quitting. I made the right decision going to California doing travel nursing. But sometimes the universe or God will lead you in steps, but it's the right steps. Like they may not be your final destination, and so you still might be put on a step where you're not happy on that step either, but it's still a step in the right direction. Because when I was there in California, I discovered enneagrams, and this ish is real. I'm a number 9 enneagram, and what I discovered about number 9s is that we love balance, peace, and harmony no matter what, to the point where that makes us lazy and complacent and just content with what we have, to the point where we don't push hard to get out of anything we don't like. It kind of makes us lazy. So a lot of people with number 9 enneagram will stay in jobs they don't like, and they don't of course like confrontation. You just like balance in life, and anything that disturbs your harmony, you don't do it. So even stepping out on a whim and me doing YouTube and uploading this video, that is definitely a disturbance to my peace, because I've never done it before. I don't know if anybody's gonna watch this. I don't know if anybody's gonna find this entertaining. I hope you do. But anything that disturbs our peace, we won't do it. And my favorite Bible verse, Jeremiah 29:11, which is, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans for a hope and a future." I said God is definitely prospering me through my difficulties, and I'm so grateful. This is definitely a difficult time, but I felt like I was having some sort of breakthrough. And the other main point that I want to say, I knew at that point I had HIV pink eye. I was like, why would God let this happen to me? Didn't he send me out here to make me money, to lay the foundation for my family and goals next year? And now I just miss out on so much money. And how I was just so happy to be there 3 weeks ago. Like, I remember driving through Beverly Hills, going to get my nails done, living the LA life, being grateful for the experience, and feeling like, you know what, I'm on the up and up, this is great. And then all of a sudden that happened. So I was just like, why? I was so unhappy to be here. Then you allow me to be happy to be here and grateful, and then this happens. Like, I just didn't get it. I said, but here the universe goes again, making me pause and evaluate what I really want for my life and push me in the direction it wants me to go. I guess the universe is trying to tell me that I truly need to work on my foundation. I thought my foundation was like going to make money and getting myself out of debt and being able to save up for a house, but that's not it. So yes, God sent me out here to make money. However, what does that money mean if I don't even know how to manage it? What does that money even mean if it's taking me away from finding my true passion in life? Why do I even want to spend the next year making money primarily from a job that I no longer find purpose in doing long term? It's not the money that I'm after, it's the freedom and the goal of figuring out my true passion in life. So basically that was the major point of it. I think the lesson that I learned was me trying to focus on so much in nursing when I know it's not really what I do want to do long term. Not to say that I won't pop up on here and be like, hey y'all, I'm gonna be doing another local contract, because that's actually what I'm doing now, is just trying to do a local contract, stay at home, as well as spend time working on this YouTube channel. I think the universe was just trying to tell me, and I could be wrong, that was another thing I said, I feel like I need more patience and listening to the universe, because sometimes you think you know what they're trying to tell you, but it's just trying to lead you in a certain direction, but you're not even ready to hear that direction yet. Or for example, with YouTube, I've been recording videos that I probably would never upload, but I knew that was the end goal, but I still wasn't even ready for that end goal yet, if that makes sense. So I just think it's all like a really huge learning experience for myself, and I just need to be more patient with listening to God, listening to the direction he's trying to lead me in, and believing in myself, and having the guts to step out and do things that I'm so afraid of, even though I'm shaking in my boots, because a part of me is like, damn, what if this doesn't work out? What if you don't ever find a different path that makes you prosper besides nursing? What are you gonna do? And I just don't even want to believe that, because I know God has got me and he's leading me to prosper. That's it for this video. Give it a thumbs up. Hopefully I'm able to edit this down, because I know I've been talking a lot. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Wow, I really just did that. Go little rock star. Even though they say it's, what are they saying? Hope is a something. Who? That's dumb lyrics anyway. Wait a minute, forgive me. I forgot the most important parts. If you know anything about Portillo's, they have the best chocolate cake ever. But guess what? They were so ready to give me my order. You think they gave me a straw? This is the old straw from my Chick-fil-A this morning. Don't judge me that this is my second time eating out, because if it wasn't for you guys and the fact that I only feel comfortable recording videos in my car, I would have went home and ate something healthy. Or that's not true, because I have to go to Target after this. So thankfully, I love eating egg bites from Starbucks. I always save the forks because I never use them, because to me they're finger food, and people who eat them with a fork, you just make me feel bad about my life, because I just shoved that in my face. It is so good. You have to try it. If you ever come to Chicago, take your ass to Portillo's. Wait, let me look this up. 38 locations. Oh, Illinois, Indiana, California, and Arizona. It expanded outside of Illinois for the first time in California. How about I'll start doing mukbangs and then we'll look up interesting facts about each state. I've never seen a damn mountain before I left Chicago, but I was flying into California and I thought to myself, because like I'm used to like mountains being over there and then people live over here. I'm not used to people living in the mountains. So the plane's gonna land in LAX. I'm like, when the mountains gonna disappear? Why are we finna land in the mountains? Literally, are those houses on the mountains? What happens when it rains? And everybody's like, I don't remember the last time it rained. Chicago, we don't see the sun for like 2 months. I'm thankful I had a little bit of natural lighting today. I'm gonna go to Target now. Maybe one day I'll have the guts to do some sort of vlog, which is what I really want to start doing with this channel. We'll see. What do they say? Like, share, and subscribe. My family's been begging me to show them my channel, and I have to remind them this is for strangers on the internet, okay? Not for you. I don't have enough confidence for that shit yet. Maybe one day. See you later. Bye.